Hello and thank you for joining me for your daily reading. So today we're okay, off to a fantastic start. Today we're taking a look at, does your ex still have feelings for you? Also, why can't I let my ex go? Or why can't my ex let me go? Now, here's the caveat with these readings, okay? Please do observe them from a healthy mindset that is designed for your own liberation being the focus, okay? Never ever keep yourself stuck. And please remember that you can always skip over any of the messages that you know full well are not your messages, okay? You're only supposed to retain the information that you know is specifically for you, right? Also, please do keep in mind that I am Scottish, which means you can fully expect some swearing, and if you don't like it, you know what you can do. Right, so, yes, the Two of Cups being the strongest overall energy. So either you or this particular ex of yours does indeed have designs on a reunion, okay? Now, again, whether that's healthy or unhealthy, only you can be the judge of that one, right? But with this being the strongest overall energy, it does strongly imply that one of the two of you has designs on a reunion. Now, it's also possible that one of the two of you, or both of you, are already in new connections elsewhere, with the Two of Cups being the strongest overall energy, okay? Here's the thing, you've got the Tower as the current state of the past relationship, the Tower. So this is a relationship that ended suddenly, according to one of you, okay? Remember, this is either your opinion or their opinion. I don't know which, okay? I don't know which one. Someone's opinion is this relationship ended too soon or it ended suddenly. With the Tower being the deciding factor here as well, it tells me that the connection was destroyed beyond repair. So it's not an easy thing to fix this connection. It's like too much happened, too much was done, too much was said. When the Tower falls, it usually is permanent. Okay, it usually is. Unless you decide to rebuild. And that's the million-dollar question here that someone is wanting an answer to. Can this relationship be rebuilt? And with the Two of Cups being the overall energy, the answer is yes, it can be rebuilt, but only if that is what both partners are wanting to do. If only one partner is wanting to rebuild, then obviously no, it's not going to work, okay? But the chances are leaning more in favour of a repair if both are wanting this. And there are indications that it's possible that both are wanting this, with the Two of Cups being the overall energy. Now, their current feelings towards you is the Six of Coins, or the Six of Pentacles. So obviously, this is your ex wanting to give to this connection. I feel it is possible that your ex is currently thinking of you heavily, wishing to go back, wishing to repair the connection, wishing to give to you. And it is a wish because you've got the Five of Cups right here, also in their energy, in the position of what is it that's stopping them from moving on. What's stopping them from moving on is they have been unhappy since the day that metaphorical tower fell. They have struggled to find any joy, any pleasure in anything that they do. This has given me feelings of pointlessness. They feel that anything and everything else is pretty much pointless. Why? Because they're not with you. And then you've got the Queen of Wands that's coming out in the position of what it is they need to take into consideration in order for them to move on. They're needing to consider why they feel so drawn towards you, why they feel so compelled to make comparisons between yourself and other people, because ultimately that is what's keeping them stuck. Whether you're feminine or masculine, it makes no difference. They view you as this Queen of Wands energy, which is someone that they feel drawn towards. It's a very magnetic energy. There is also a message here about sex appeal, because let's be honest, a Queen of Wands has got sex appeal by the bucket load. They also have charisma by the bucket load. And they don't chase. They don't chase. They don't have to chase. It's someone who's never shy of any attention. Now, maybe this particular ex of yours is also someone who would be considered as being, quite good looking, and is never shy of attention from those that they're interested in. They've always got someone hanging around. They've always got someone, trying to get them into bed, as it were. I feel strongly that this is more to do with their, I want to say, compulsion towards you. Because they definitely do feel compelled to be with you, to constantly be around you, to speak to you. It's almost like anything that they can get from you right now, they'll take it. Okay? Even if it's just like a quick conversation. Your current feelings towards them, the Ace of Wands. So, in all honesty, you feel that this person was pretty good in the bedroom. But as far as relationship material goes, non-existent. Your feelings towards them was, that the sex was good. But they're not life partner material. If you're the one that's struggling to move on from them, which again is not going to be all of you, but for those where you do feel that you struggle to move on from them, this is what's stopping you from moving on. The Seven of Cups. Confused. Maybe a part of you wonders, it might work this time. It might. I don't know until I try. What if this? What if that? You see, the Seven of Cups energy is very daydreamy. And it can sometimes be overly romanticized. So Spirit's asking for you to make sure, before you make any decision about getting back together with this person, make sure that you're not overly romanticizing the connection. Sorry about the sudden pause there. I had to go and see if that was someone at our door, because I heard someone knocking. Right, so we're on the Chariot now, and this is consideration for you to take in order for you to move on. Chariot is a card of victory, okay? It's a card of forward movement. This is basically Spirit saying to always look ahead of you, never behind. If you're going to be looking behind you, it's just basically to check that you're not being followed. Okay? But ultimately, this is about moving forward, moving on, taking yourself up to the next level. And with it being a card of victory, it's Spirit's way of saying you will get over this person. If you're not already, of course. If you are already over this person, then obviously I'm not speaking to you right now. Okay. This is for those who feel that there is a little bit of temptation here to go back to that other person. Maybe because the sex was so good, you know? And it is an unfortunate side effect that some people do equate sex and physical intimacy in that way for love. It is unfortunate fact. Okay? This is Spirit's way of saying that you will find that someone new without needing to revisit the ex, without needing to revisit the past. Because the Chariot continually moves forward. The Sun, this is the action that this person is likely going to take towards you. So this ex, they are going to contact you. This is about getting attention as well. Now, it's an optimistic energy. So this particular ex is optimistic that you're going to be happy to hear from them. What's next for you in your love life is the Eight of Cups, which is a stark contrast to the Sun. So I'm speaking to someone here who might be on the edge of risking a current relationship in favour to rekindle a situation with an ex. Because the Eight of Cups is moving away. And in this context, it's breaking up with someone. Be very, very careful. For those where this reading resonates, be very careful of the decisions that you're about to make. Because somebody might be on the verge of making a mistake. And again, it's a very common thing to happen. A couple split, one of the two moves on, starts creating a happy life with the new partner, and then the ex comes back in and tempts the partner away. It's a very common theme. Make sure that you're not going to turn yourself into one of the statistics who ends up throwing away a beautiful relationship in the hope to rekindle with an ex. You would not believe the amount of times that I see that happen. And I've never seen it work out either. Never. It always ends up going the same way. Because the exes that get back together again, they end up repeating the same old problems and the same old mistakes. Instead of starting anew, starting afresh with someone else. No. So what you'll end up with is 2 destroyed relationships and not just the one. Does that make sense? It's possible that this ex is about to break up with their partner in the hope that they can get back together with you. Because I'm also getting the energy here of somebody being very sort of nonchalant about the whole thing. Because someone's going to be like, well, they left their partner. I didn't tell them to do that. I didn't convince them to do that. I'm happy over here someplace else with a different partner. I had no idea that they were going to do this. It's not on me. And you're right, it's not on you because it was their decision. I do feel strongly for the vast majority that this actually is a situation that you've already liberated yourself from. And I feel that this particular ex is the one that's struggling to let you go. And that they are the ones that are literally on the precipice of throwing away a current relationship that they're involved in the hope of getting back together with you. With this assumption that when they do that, that you're going to follow suit. That you also are going to break down the relationship that you're currently in order to go back with them too. And this, I don't see it happening that way. I really don't. It's underneath that Two of Cups, the Empress, yeah. The Empress and the Knight of Cups. So I was right. There's someone here making a love offer to an Empress. What else? Downloads. Look out for messages and signs from Spirit. Sit quietly and receive the answers. So there's spiritual upgrades here, which tells me that the vast majority of yous watching this have already had some kind of dream or a mind flash, like a premonition of this person about to do this. Journey, smooth sailing, adventure, and make your own path. Yeah. Keep the forward momentum. Ships move forward as well. I mean, yeah, ships can move backwards with great difficulty. That's why they often move forwards. Look, clear the air. Something may be clouding your judgment. Get some clarity and set things right. So something is clouding your ex's judgment, and they are about to make a devastating mistake. Or again, if this is reading in the opposite way, and this is you stuck on your ex, then it's going to be time for you to clear the air. And remember what I said at the start of the read. You've got to keep your freedom at the forefront. Mysteries. Appreciate what you don't know and seek to learn more before you make a decision. Yeah. Seek to learn more before you make a decision. Is this person in love or are they in lust? What else? Oh, a time of necessary upheaval with the moon goddess. Okay, a time of necessary upheaval, which is a blessing in disguise. As the dust settles, the gift reveals itself. That goes hand in hand with clear the air. So something is absolutely clouding another person's judgment here. They're going through an upheaval in their private life, and after the dust settles of that metaphorical tower falling, they're going to have a much clearer vision of what they should do next. I don't think that this particular relationship was ever really supposed to work out, because I feel that it was a very sex-based connection rather than a love-based one. And relationships like that, they are very short-lived. Why? Because the nature of aging. We all age. Looks and having a hot bod, that's all temporary. And so if a relationship is based off of the sex and that alone, it's not going to last. What else? Maybe that's why, if your ex is currently with someone, maybe that's why they're currently unhappy with that other someone that they're with. Maybe that was the sex-based relationship that has now run its course. Something has definitely run its course here. Without a question. What else? Oh. Oh, interesting. Thou shalt not judge, because thou hast fucked up before too. Yeah. It's a reminder that basically we're all only human, and we all make mistakes. Okay. When you see yourself thinking that someone's a real asshole, take a moment and contemplate all of the times that you've done exactly what they're doing. If that's been the case, of course. Maybe it was a different flavour of assholeness, but it was still assholey. Check yourself and people will like you more. Most importantly, you will like you more too. Okay. It's based off of that whole saying of judge not lest ye be judged. Yeah. Right, so let's take a look at some charms to go with this. Oh, that's a big handful. Okay, right, so you have got the, I don't know if the camera's going to focus, it's the Aquarius symbol. So you could be an Aquarius or you could be dealing with an Aquarius. Where should I put these? I'll put them off to the side so I don't accidentally pick up the same ones. You have Cancer, so someone's dealing with or is a Cancerian. You have the letter C. Okay, yeah, there's a skull here. It's like a little raven skull. So the skull symbology, that's all about how everything has a time. Like, you know how they say there's a time and a place for everything? Well, everything also eventually has to come to an end. Yeah? That's relationships, life itself. That's why I always say not a lot of people like skulls, because it reminds us all of our own mortality and how time should never, ever, ever be wasted. Okay? As far as what I can see, this particular relationship, it has died. Right? It's gone through that metaphorical death, and there it should remain, really. You have the oak leaves, which indicates autumn, so you could have a birthday in autumn, or this person, their birthday could be in autumn. Mostly the oak leaves, it's about growth and strength. Okay, so those attributes, is it's going to be really beneficial for you at this time to encourage you to maintain that momentum of moving forward. It's also about release as well, because they are still autumn leaves, and autumn leaves represent release. And to remember that there is no such thing as a wasted experience, okay? Because when you think about the leaves in autumn, when they fall to the ground, providing they're left on the ground, what they'll do is they will degrade, go back into the soil, and through that process of them rotting away and degrading, they put beneficial nutrients back into the soil so that the tree that leaf fell from can continue to grow. And it's going to be fertilized by its own leaf. So I always say, when you look at leaves as if they were your memories, as if they were your experiences in life. Yeah. And always let them fall to the ground when it's necessary. Okay. I mean, if you could imagine that oak leaf trying desperately to retain all of its dead leaves, it wouldn't grow. It would just poison itself. Yeah. I don't know if this one's going to be allowed on YouTube, because it's... I'll hold it up, but I'll not say the word, okay? I think it's actually based off of the band Guns N' Roses, because it's literally got a rose vine growing up its handle. Which, again, is a really powerful symbol of how potentially toxic this relationship is or was. Very hurtful relationship. Again, I am limited on what I can say. You know where I think you know where it is I'm trying to go with this. Okay. Not everything that's beautiful, like the rose, means that it's going to be good for you. And in fact, with this symbol coming out, it's saying, be cautious of this relationship, because it's more likely to damage you further than it would heal you. Yeah. I think I got round the YouTube AI with that one. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Right. The love heart. So, yes. Feelings are definitely running high. It's also a message of hope here for those who are hoping that one day they will be able to move on from this connection. It's Spirit's way of saying, you know what? Sooner or later, you're going to find yourself in love with a completely new person who is actually going to be healthy for you, and where that connection is not going to be mutually destructive. Because apparently this connection was a mutually destructive one. Hence the and the rose. Okay? I know, it's really sad that you're not allowed to say certain things on YouTube. You have the number 5. Okay. Let me think. Number 5, Leo. It could be 5th house. Okay, which would be Leo. You could be Leo. You could be dealing with a Leo. If it is more sort of 5th house energy, then it's going to be pertaining to romance, creativity, children, good fortune. So these are the things that you can look forward to in your life. Okay, if you move on from this person, the chances are extremely high you will find yourself creating a family with that 5th house energy coming in, with a new partner, a healthy partner. Obviously 5s can also be change, extreme change, sudden change, the type of change that a person goes through where they feel unsteady or unstable on their feet, uncertain of their own future. Fives are a reminder for you to ride the waves of change rather than fight against the change, because if you try and fight against it, if you try and retain the old, remember that oak leaf and the oak tree that we were speaking on? If you try and retain the old, it's going to make your journey a lot harder and a lot more tumultuous. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay. So yeah, be cautious of the fives. Definitely be cautious of the fives. It can be a smooth process if you go with it, or it can be an incredibly destructive process if you fight against it. And the choice ultimately is completely up to you. You have the snake here, okay, which is all about regeneration and healing. In certain contexts, it can be a warning, do not trust this person, okay? You're going to know which of the two messages is applicable for you. It could be both. It could be a warning against this person, a reminder of the toxicity, the poison of this relationship, and the fact that you're needing to shed that old skin now, okay? A reminder that you have outgrown this person. You have outgrown this relationship, and it's time for something new. It's a very healing and regenerative energy. You also have the dragon, which can indicate passions. Okay, for anyone who is a gamer, the dragon can also indicate like quests and missions and rewards. Yeah. So you will be rewarded for moving on from this particular ex. You will be rewarded big. Okay, like you will find the epic loots that you've been looking for if you move on from this relationship. And for those where it's more to do with like your passion, your fire, your creativity, it's time for you to put all of those beautiful assets to good use and to create something new in your life. You have the Pentacle, which is a symbol of protection. It's one of the most protective symbols, which is why it was and still is the most commonly used medallion. Okay, protect your space, protect your time, protect your energy from those who would cause you further unrest in your own life. It's also an encouragement for those who have a curiosity about certain mysteries in life to pursue those particular curiosities. You have the sun and the stars. You have the sun and the stars. I'm getting the message here of being favoured. I don't know if I can hold these up because they're tiddly tiny. No, probably not. Let me put that down. Yeah. Or you can just take my word for it. It's a sun and a star. So the universe is on your side. Okay, you've got protections here from the universe, from beyond the veil. They're actually saying, sky's the limit. The sky is the limit. You have a fairy. Kind of looks like an angel as well. Messages from your angels. If it's specifically for you, if you feel in your heart it's more to do with fairy magic, then that's about nature. Working with the land rather than against the land, being respectful to the environment that's growing out of the ground around you, you know, being considerate to nature, that sort of thing. That's all fairy magic. And for others, it's going to be more to do with, again, the universal energies and the etheric realms, okay, especially as we've just seen about the universe has got your back. And of course, yes, you do have the infinity symbol here as well. that can be soulmate energy. So it is possible that some of you could be dealing with some type of soulmate that is in the form of this particular ex. But the thing that you need to remember is the human manifestation of this soulmate isn't healthy for you, okay? And again, that can be another reason why it's really, really hard to let certain people like that go, because there is that strong soul connection, but then their human side is really quite dark, you know, and it's quite contradictory in a lot of ways. So you do have to keep in mind, they're also saying you are magic. You are magic. Because it's magician energy. So you are magic. It's time for you to manifest what you're wanting in your own life. It's time for you to use your magic. And now I can't remember what I was saying before that because I got cut off. I'm sorry. I don't like it when they do that. Oh yeah, it was about like toxic soulmates. Yeah. The kindest thing that you can do for yourself is to let them go. And ultimately, that's kind of where the word karmics come from as well. It's like, yeah, that soul connection's there, that soul recognition's there, but the human vehicle that soul is currently in is making all of these really crappy decisions in life that makes them quite a dark energied person. Yeah, so as I say, that connection's always going to be there. Send them love from a distance is the best way to handle connections like that. You're being told that you are blessed. You are blessed. And of course, the feather, lightness, communication, protections again. So definitely a lot of protective energy is coming through for you at this time. It's almost like spirit is trying to keep you away from this person. And they're saying as well with this lightness that as soon as you surrender them, release them, and let them go, you're going to feel that sense of liberation. You are literally going to feel that weight lifting off of you. Okay, so loads of information there. But yeah, that is what I have for you guys. I genuinely hope that reading has been helpful. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you did like it and you're wanting to see more. Information on where you can book private reading with me if you feel that you need one. You can find all of that in my description box below, or just hop over onto my website, which is phoenixkeiatarot.com. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to stick around because it should pop up with another video that you might also take benefits from. Okay, so yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.